Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Chennedy Carter back in the WNBA, headed to the evil empire, the Las Vegas Aces. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. And what I just said about Chennedy Carter is not true. But I wanted to address it for a couple of reasons. It's kind of wild, but this is the big problem out there, and I wasn't going to address it. There's been some other things that I haven't addressed like this here as well, but I think it's important to talk about this for a few minutes, so bear with me. I'm curious what y'all think in the comments below. By the way, this sometimes is why you don't see me do a video on a topic that it seems to be hot, or why the video might come from me a little bit later, because I try and stay on top of things as something is time sensitive and important, but I'm not breaking news. I do my best to get it right as opposed to be first, and I know that costs me subs, and I know that costs me viewers, and I don't do clickbait titles, and I know that's the same thing. And yeah, you know what? Hey, I'm human. I get it. I get frustrated when I see some of these huge channels and I look at the titles they put out and then the crap in the video, and I'm like, why are people subbing to this? Why are people watching this? I don't get it at all. That's my little woe is me rant for a second. But this was an example of one I never addressed at all, but I went looking, right? I did my research because there was actually a similar quote to this, but it was a little different, but it was in a an image quote, excuse me, that was going around, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find a legitimate source because it turns out it wasn't true, just like this. NBA Centel. If you think about it, our shorter season makes our games more valuable, and some of us play at a higher level than some NBA players. It's simple math. And if you go by the comments, right, a lot of people bought into this, um, made this true. Yeah, kind of, but not really. Um, play at a higher level than some NBA players. Oh, nah, this got me rolling. On and on. Guess her math skills ain't great. Less games, less revenue, less pay. All true. But again, this is the type of stuff that gets shared all over the place, right? 7.1 million views, and this is just made up. This is completely made up. So, what does this have to do with Chennedy Carter? Well, again, it goes back to some of the things that get put out there and some of the things you may see me address or not address. Chennedy Carter, this is where this comes from. Fanatics, right? They sell merch, man. And yet someone saw this and posted out because they made a boo-boo. Las Vegas Aces, Las Vegas Footwear, Chennedy Carter, product ID. And here we go. Carter, number 4. And so someone posted this out. And then YouTubers made a video on it about Chennedy Carter going to the Aces, and people retweeted that, and it became a thing. And yet this is it, because I went looking, because I thought this, of course I would do a video on this. Someone is covering the WNBA. Of course I would do a video on this. Of course, my first thought was, the Aces, really? To what? Sit on the bench? Am I missing something? Do the Aces no longer have Jackie Young and Jewel Lloyd and Chelsea Gray? Like, where would Chennedy Carter play? That was my first thought. But I went looking at it everywhere, looking at, all the legitimate sources that I could find, including the WNBA transaction page. This is literally it. This is all that there is, my friends, on Chennedy Carter going to the Las Vegas Aces, and that is a mistake. By the way, I'm guessing this is still up there, which is wild. I mean, I think this was a couple days ago that this actually got put out. So it's kind of wild that this is still here. But yeah, then this is the kind of stuff people want to jump on this because it's newsworthy. You get it out there first, you're going to get views, you're going to get clicks and all that, you can get subs. But I would rather be sure when sometimes those things too good to be true in terms of media and stories you can run with, right? People were quick to want to believe that stuff about Angel Reese. So it's easy to make that stuff up. Like I said, that thing has 7.1 million views. on this. And that is just that. Again, I maybe that ended up getting taken out, but I went looking for the image quote and I couldn't find anywhere. And that thing was showing up all over everything all the time. So we're probably talking about 10, 20 million views plus on that. And it was absolute complete BS. Um, let's do this live. Let's see. Let's just go real quick to the where is it? Transactions page right on the WNBA site. And nothing since April 1st. That's kind of a bizarre day to put transactions up. But yeah, so nothing. Kennedy Carter has not gone to the Las Vegas Aces. Kennedy Carter is still out of the WNBA, which again to me is kind of wild when I look at some of the behavior of some of the players that are in the league versus their talent. And I look at Kennedy Carter, and yeah, I get all the issues, but I haven't seen anything so absolutely bad that you're keeping her out of the league. I mean, she blindsided Caitlin Clark from behind during a dead ball, and that didn't even garner a game suspension. But she is out of the league for maybe having issues with teammates in the locker room of the Chicago Sky. Hey, you know what? I'd have issues too with the way Weatherspoon coached that team and the way she favored certain players to do certain things that were detrimental to the success of the team. Weatherspoon was not trying to win basketball games as the coach of the Chicago Sky. In my opinion, from watching everything that transpired with that team, she was not trying to win. She was trying to play into a narrative of how good Angel Reese was and trying to propel that to a rookie of the year and thinking somehow that was what was going to elevate Weatherspoon, I guess, going forward in terms of her coaching career. But I'm thinking that that didn't necessarily work out for her. I mean, one other thing, if I can get to it real quick, can it be, we look at last season for Kennedy Carter, right? The per game stuff. She averaged 26 minutes a game, yet scored 17 and a half points a game. She was not in the league in 2023. In 2022, she only played 16 minutes a game and had 8.9 points. And by the way, there's a whole nother issue for you. Tell me she was fourth in most improved player when she didn't even play the year before. And the year before that, she was a bench player who averaged single digits in points. And she was not the most improved player. It went to the mustard. Dejanay Carrington, really? That's absolute garbage as well. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I appreciate you checking this out. I just had to get this out there, explain if anyone saw this and this rumor and bought in. I saw comments on some YouTube videos that did this whole she went to the Aces thing and they all bought in. And look, I make mistakes. I am gonna make mistakes in the future. Uh, if I'm talking about something and I'm not sure I've got it right, I'll even ask you all in the comments below. But I do my best to try and not get suckered into all of this kind of nonsense, which means sometimes I may not do a video on a topic or I may get to it later. And this is why. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Let's go grow this channel. Come on. By the way, last thing I'll leave you with. I know I faked you out with the ending. Shout out to all those. I've seen some great comments this past week and in the past as well, but I just, this past week, a number of them stood out about the quality of the channel and the number of subs you think the channel should have and everything. And I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I read the comments. I really do. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all your support. So like, comment, subscribe. I will leave it there and I will talk to you later.